Hello and welcome to the history of. I'm Richard and this is
Steve.
We are here to talk about what we think are the best movies of 2024. Yay! But here's the thing, I have to admit that I didn't see a lot of movies in 2024. So my list is going to be quite different than what my normal list is, you'll see. Before we begin, I just wanted to ask Steve, how many movies did you see in 2024?
Oh my gosh. This is embarrassing. This is where the viewers go, oh man, you have no life. It was a high year for me, yeah. I saw 123 movies.
Wow.
That includes streaming, that includes movies that I didn't even watch in full because they sucked. But yeah, 123.
Wow, that is a lot of movies.
I know. I haven't watched that many in 1 year in a long time. Maybe I should get a life.
So what I would like to know is, why is it so important for you to see so many movies?
Oh, it's an addiction.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, I've been in entertainment and horror my whole life and been going to the movies since I was very young, and it's just one of my favorite things to do. And the AMC Movie Watcher Pass, not a plug, just the truth. It makes it so easy. I'm going to movies all the time. Just head over after work. Why not? My interests are a lot wider than yours.
For sure.
You have a more finite type of movie you'll watch, and I'll watch a lot of different things. So, yeah.
All right. With that being said, shall we start our list?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yay!
Number 10.
The movie that I thought was number 10 as the best movie of the year was Bratz. For the
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It brought me back, very nostalgic, talking to all the actors from the 80s. That's when I used to watch a lot of movies. My interests were more broad back in the 80s, and I'd watch all kinds of movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I was more in tune with what was going on with the Brat Pack and all that stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all the different actors that were featured in this documentary. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was very fascinating, very sad. The whole thing about them not wanting to work with each other because of that title of being a brat, part of the Brat Pack. They didn't want to be part of that, so they would refuse to work with each other. I thought it was really sad. But it was very well done. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I liked it too. Michael hated it.
Dang!
Yeah. I think it was on his worst list.
Oh my God!
It's really fun for people of a certain age like us because we were alive back when the Brat Pack was a big thing, and it was, everywhere in American culture. And it was fun seeing all the actors come together again and chat and talk about old times and just all that stuff. And it's a nice memory piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, my number 10, well, actually 9 and 10, I think are on my list just because they were such delightful surprises. They were much better than I expected. They made me happy.
Aww.
And my number 10 movie is called Big Boys. It's a gay-themed film. It's about a gay teenage boy who every year goes on a camping trip with his older female cousin and his brother. And this year they're going on the camping trip, and his cousin brings her current boyfriend, who's this cute, beefy guy. And the gay kid falls for him, and hijinks ensue. I don't want to ruin the whole story, but I just found it a really heartwarming movie, relatable, because I was that fat kid when that's in the movie when I was younger. I really loved it, and it's a very positive film, and it's the sort of movie that I wish I could have seen when I was his age, because it would have made me feel seen.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll have to look forward. I'll have to look for that.
Oh yeah. It's
I'd like
really
to see
good.
that.
Yeah.
Number 9.
My number 9 movie of the year is Casa Bonita Mi Amor. It's another documentary.
Wow. I haven't even heard of that.
It's featured in an episode of South Park.
Oh, okay.
Lots of bad things happened, and it went through different hands, and it just became really dilapidated and run down. And then when COVID hit,
It's a hotel?
no, it's a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And when COVID hit, it shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And so the creators of South Park, they wanted to reopen it. And it basically details the drama that they go through trying to rebuild this thing, because basically it'd been like 20 years, 30, 40 years or something like that of it not being maintained.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine what happens to a place not being maintained.
Yeah.
So they basically had to spend a lot of money, but it's a very interesting piece. It's kind of like a cross between one of those home improvement shows. So you're kind of seeing that, but then you're also seeing the drama of them trying to get this thing done.
Well, that clocks because, you know, I know how much you love home improvement type shows.
Mhm.
So. So this doesn't surprise me that it's on your list. But yeah, I guess I'll have to watch that.
All right.
And congratulations.
On.
One of your favorite movies is a movie I've never even heard of. let
Oh,
alone
okay.
seen.
Yay!
I thought I was the one who always did that to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. Similar to my number 10, my number 9 is a film that's on my list. In part because it was so much better than I expected, and that is Lord of the Rings: War of the Rohirrim. I loved this movie. Yeah, it came out in December, I think, to no fanfare, and just sort of tanked at the theater, which is unfortunate.
Oh, wow.
Because it's an amazing movie. I think it's the best Lord of the Rings property since the original trilogy.
Oh.
Yeah. It's better than the Hobbit movies. It's better than that Amazon TV series. I loved it. It's got great, strong female characters. It's got a really fascinating story. It's prequel, happens before Lord of the Rings, and based on, I think, if I read correctly, like a page and a half of one of. The whole story is based on like a little bit of one of the novels.
Wow.
Yeah. The animation is great. My only complaint would be it's maybe a little smidge slow at the beginning when they're sort of introducing the characters, but then something major happens, and it's bam, 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 bam through the rest of the movie.
Oh.
And I loved it. Yeah, it's great.
I'll have to look for that one too.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Superman.
Yay!
Yeah.
Another documentary.
Another documentary. But this one, obviously, another one that touched the nostalgia button for me with Christopher Reeve and Superman. I was like huge fan of the Superman movies. Still a fan of these Superman movies. There hasn't been anything comparable since Superman and Superman 2, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so loved it. Loved this movie. I loved seeing the life of Christopher Reeve. Sad, obviously what happens to him.
Mm-hmm.
But got to learn more about him and what he did after his accident, and basically persevered through that, and was just a really strong man. So it's a great documentary about this one person.
Perseverance is a key word there.
Yeah.
And hope. I mean, that's what this documentary is about. I mean, it's not just... I loved it. It's not just about his life. I mean, it's primarily about his life, but it's like so much more than that, because you see him persevere under, horrible circumstances, and it's just, he lived a really admirable life, and yeah, I was just weeping by the end of it. It was amazing film. My number 8 favorite movie of 2024 is Emilia Perez. I love the movie. I mean, admittedly, I love music, so I love musicals. It automatically gets a thumbs up for me there. I mean, not that it would mean any musical's a good movie, but it's very different. Like when I first watched it, I honestly didn't like the music that much. I was like, these songs are kind of weird. But I have since listened to the soundtrack many times, and they've grown on me a lot, and I love them. And they all work so well within the story. The movie is, I guess, about 2/3 or 3/4 in Spanish. The other part is in English. And I found it fascinating that the songs were in Spanish or English based on what language they were speaking within the film at that time.
Oh, okay.
Some of them are English, most of them are Spanish. It's a fascinating film. It's just sort of wacky and out there, but entertaining and still moving. And yeah, I mean, I just loved it. I really loved it a lot.
All right.
Great performances, inventive direction, songs which you may not like at first, but will grow on you. Or maybe you'll like them at first. I don't know. Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
All right. Unfortunately, I did not see that movie.
It's on Netflix. You have Netflix?
Okay.
No interest in seeing it?
Well, it's not that I had no interest, it's just I wasn't aware.
Oh, what? That it's a musical?
No, that it was on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Because I know you like musicals.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I love musicals.
Yeah. Just be prepared that you might not like the songs at the start.
Okay.
Because you're even more particular than I am about music.
Yeah.
But give it a chance.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's a great movie. Yeah.
Awesome.
Number 7.
The Greatest Night in Pop. Nostalgic. I was a teenager in most of the 80s, especially in that year. Pivotal year of music.
Mm-hmm.
And all these wonderful 80s singers and artists of that year just loved what they did to get them all together to sing this one song, and what they went through and what they did through the night until the next morning. Some of them coming from an award show. It was all coming from an award show, right? Because
Most of
that
them,
was
yeah.
the only way they could get them all, because they all happened to be going to this award show. Then they said, come on over and let's sing this song.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And the fact that Lionel Richie not only co-wrote the song, was like co-producing the song, and was like spearheading the whole thing, also had time to host the American Music Awards, which was the award show that they went to before recording the song. But yeah, again, I absolutely loved that movie. My favorite documentary of the year. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, the nostalgia factor on that is at 100. Again, for those of us of a certain age who are alive and kids and enjoying both the Band-Aid and the Weird World. What was the band? What's the
USA
band?
for Africa?
USA for Africa, yeah. It's fascinating that there was so much footage filmed at the time that it all happened, and they recorded it, that they were able to construct this documentary. I mean, in fact, most of the footage in the documentary is stuff that was filmed the night that they recorded the song. So it's a fascinating watch. If you love music, you have to watch this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's amazing. My number 7 favorite movie of the year is Conclave. It's about a bunch of priests.
There you go, folks.
It's a remarkable film. It's so incredibly well written. It's like watching a thriller. You know, all the all the people involved trying to make a decision who's going to be the next pope, and it's fascinating, the machinations of what these people do to sort of get what they want. And and even though you're a person of faith, you can still act maliciously, and and you find out some people who may be good, may be bad, actually are bad, and vice versa. And it's a great story with a lot of twists and turns, and you're sort of on the edge of your seat through the whole thing. It's really good. He screwed up.
I have 11 movies on my list.
It's fine.
Should I just skip one?
No. If you were to skip one, you would have skipped number 11.
Okay.
It's fine. We'll just go.
Because this is technically number 7.
It's fine. We'll just keep counting down to 1, and then you can do 0.
Number 6.
Wham!
Another documentary.
Last Christmas Unwrapped.
Yeah. that's
Another documentary, another one that's very nostalgic. Last Christmas was huge. Loved the song. I loved Wham at the time. Breaking down how the song was created, especially those moments in the movie where we listened to parts of the song and how it was created and what George Michael did with his voice to create this song. I just love learning about music that way, and then all the people that were involved in the music video getting together and just reminiscing about their time of making the video, and especially having Andrew Ridgeley there. It was just absolutely amazing to see.
It's remarkable that they were able to fashion a feature-length documentary just on one song.
Yeah.
But they did it, and it's great. I mean, half of it they're talking about the music video, but it's still they're talking about the song. I mean, it's a great documentary, and if you're a Wham fan or a George Michael fan, then you definitely should see it. My number 6 favorite movie of 2024 is The Substance.
Ooh, I've been dying to see that.
Oh my God, is that good? You what? You haven't seen it, Richard?
It's
Anyway. Well, I'm just gonna talk to you. Pretend he's not here. Yeah. First of all, this was an incredibly good year for horror movies. Incredibly good. One of the best years ever for horror movies. There were so many good ones this year. And this one was one of the best. Demi Moore was amazing. She's nominated for Best Actress. Well deserved. I hope she gets it, honestly. It's just a fascinating film. I mean, there's lots of great social commentary. It's one of those films that gets progressively crazier as it goes on and gorier. I mean, it's
Ooh.
like it's like almost like Dead Alive level gore at some point.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a really fun movie. And again, it also has a lot to say. So I can't
right.
recommend enough.
If you could just enlarge the font, it would be nice.
Number 5.
Woman of the Hour.
Oh,
That-
man.
Yeah.
I loved that movie.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Absolutely thrilling and so suspenseful.
Hmm. I agree. I loved it. And my jaw hit the floor when I found out that she directed it, too. Anna Kendrick. Yes, she's amazing. That the scene in the parking lot alone, I was just like on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Edge of my fucking seat. Oh my God. Because even though it's based on a true story, I didn't know what was going to happen because I didn't, read up on the details or anything before I watched the film. But yeah, I highly recommend that one. Yeah, it's a great movie. My number 5 favorite movie of the year is Wicked. As I said before, I love music, I love musicals, and Wicked is amazing. Yeah. Sometimes movies are popular for a reason, right? Because they're good.
Yeah.
So here's the background. I was not a fan of The Stage Show. I know it's very popular. I know a lot of people are bitter. It didn't win the Tony for Best Musical. I'm glad it didn't. I think Hugh's better. I've seen the Wicked stage musical, and I was never a fan. It just really didn't do much for me. I always liked the song Popular, but aside from that, I just thought it was weak. I didn't think it told the story very well. And then I saw the movie, and my jaw hit the floor. I was like, this story was meant for this medium, not the stage. It's so well directed. I mean, the last 20 minutes alone is just like masterpiece. He did the finale so well. I was just like chills up my spine. I loved it so much. And when I first heard that they were splitting the story into 2 films, I was like, that's stupid. But but I'm actually glad they did, because they're able to flesh out the story in a way that the stage show doesn't.
Yeah.
And which is what made me like the movie even more, because they flesh it out, and there's so much of the story there for you to get into the characters and what's happening to them, and it's not like watching Cliff Notes, I just loved it, and I have a new affinity for the music that I never had before. I've been listening to the soundtrack like crazy. I just love it, and the performances are spectacular. Ariana Grande, well,
Yeah.
she
was perfect for the part.
perfection.
Yeah.
In every way. And Cynthia Erivo's amazing too.
Yeah.
And I love their singing voices. No disrespect to the original Broadway actresses, who are both great. I
Yeah.
actually like their voices singing the songs better. But yeah, I loved Wicked, and I can't wait to see part 2.
Wicked is on my list of best movies.
All right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I loved the design, the set design, the costume design. Everything was just gorgeous to look at. And I don't know if I can say anything different than what Steve said, because everything that Steve said I really agree with, except for the music. I still am not fond of the music. Usually when I watch a musical and I don't like the music, then I don't like the musical. But Wicked was so phenomenally well done, and the characters are just amazing. I just overlooked my dislike for the music. Was able to enjoy the movie on a different level.
Number 4.
Inside Out 2. What I really like is their interpretations of emotions, the characterizations of emotions, and what goes on in the mind and the thought stream. All these different things that they animated, just thought was really fascinating. It's such a great idea. And one of my favorite was Ennui.
Yes! Ennui is the best!
just fantastic.
The greatest character in the entire Inside Out universe. Yes. Yeah, I loved it too. It's not on my top 10 list, but yeah, it's great. So my number 4 favorite is another horror movie, and it's Alien Romulus. Oh no! Is that a you stupid idiot? You thought it was bad?
It's one of the better efforts, but I thought it had a lot of problems.
Like I said, I love the Alien films, and this is one of the better efforts. And you know, what can I say? It's the Alien universe is just something that appeals to me. It always has, probably always will. Not exactly sure why. How do we pick our favorites?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just happens.
Yeah.
Due in large part because the original first 2 mostly are so amazing. But I mean, I love all 4 of them. The ones with Ripley, because Sigourney Weaver is, she is perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love the new one. I thought it had the look of it looked very Aliens. That had a good feel, like a proper Aliens film. I didn't think it was perfect. But it had a lot of good new ideas. I love the floating in space. Anti-gravity part. I don't know. It was fun. It was a delightful surprise. It was better than I expected. I thought it was going to be trash, but I really loved it. Maybe it shouldn't have been that high on my list, but I like alien movies, okay? It's my thing. It's my thing. Look, see? Alien stuff right there.
Yep. We've got alien action figures up there.
All right. Moving on. 3, 2, 1.
Number 3.
Late Night with the Devil.
Yay!
It's rare. It's a rare case of getting horror movies that are really good, and this one is really, really amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I highly recommend it. But yeah, it's really well acted, very suspenseful. Yeah, it's just really good stuff.
For those of you who haven't seen it, it takes place in the 70s in a fictional late night talk show, and the host brings on a girl who is supposedly possessed by the devil. Hijinks ensue.
Yeah, check it out.
It's very well made film. I loved it. It's not on my top 10, but it almost was. Because this has been a really damn good year for horror movies. My number 3 is the movie Challengers. I love that movie so much. Yeah, it was really, really good. Came out earlier in the beginning of the year. Directed by Luca Guadagnino. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Who's a director that I actually don't like.
Oh.
I don't like any other film he's ever made, but I loved this film. It was so masterfully directed. It's about sort of a love triangle between professional tennis players, which is a subject that I really had no interest in, but I had heard that the movie was good, so I went to see it, and I'm really glad I did. It's so well directed. The way he gets you so, on the edge of your seat into these tennis matches in a way I never would have ever expected. It's a really great story, really great acting by everyone, and the number one best thing about this film is the soundtrack. Trent Reznor did the score, and it's got to be one of the best soundtracks to any film ever made. It's phenomenal. It's so good.
All right.
So good. And the fact that it wasn't nominated for Academy Award is just a crime. But yeah, it's a really, really, really great movie.
All right.
Number 2.
Wicked.
Yay!
Yay! And since we already talked about it, let's go to Steve's.
Okay.
I don't have anything else to say about it.
My number 2 is Femme. It's a British film. It's about a drag queen goes to finishes her performance for the night. She goes to like a convenience store to get some cigarettes or something. I don't remember. And she gets gay bashed coming out of the store. Really bad. Like takes her months to recover. And then life goes on. She ends up going to a sex club. And then meets like the main guy who beat him up that night.
Oh, damn.
At the sex club.
Oh, wow.
And then they end up having sex. And then
hijinks
ensue.
That's an intriguing story.
Yeah, so that's So I don't want to say any more about what happens, but it's a fascinating film, and it says so much about internalized homophobia. It's remarkable. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it's great. And the actor who plays the head asshole who beat him up was really, really good. I mean, both of the actors are really good, but yeah, it's a great movie.
All right, I'll have to look for that one too.
Yeah.
Very intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my
Number 1.
Okay, well, this is not necessarily number 1 because, like I said, I accidentally put 11 movies on my list. So let's just say this will be tied with number 2. Let's say this is tied.
Okay.
Because I have a number 1 movie that I absolutely love. The movie that is tied for number 2 is The Fall Guy. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And the action was amazing. It just was all a lot of fun. Acting great. Stunts were great. The story was really good. The interactions between the 2 main leads, so well done.
I enjoyed it a lot. It's not on my list, but yeah, I thought it was great. Yeah, I thought it's a really fun film.
And I've never watched the TV show, so you don't need to watch the TV show to understand it. It's just a really good movie.
I didn't even realize it was based on the TV show.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the TV show with Lee Majors.
That was in the 80s, that
Yeah,
TV show?
yeah.
Number 1.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh! Nice.
I love superhero movies. The thing about superhero movies is they have to be fun. I don't like when they make them all dark and gritty and just full of angst and all that stupid bullshit that's been coming out like from Zack Snyder. I like it when they are light and fun and heroic. That's what Deadpool and Wolverine is. The whole thing. Fun, funny, and heroic. I laughed so many times, but it's such a great movie with those 2 characters coming together and just it's just wonderful to watch.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I love Dogpool.
Yeah, Dogpool.
And I loved what's his face as Gambit, where you could like barely understand what the hell he was saying.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun film. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There were so many good movies this year, actually. It was hard to narrow it down to 10 for me. I mean, that could very easily have been on my top 10. It's a great film. Well, my favorite movie of last year is Heretic.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. I said it was a good year for horror movies.
Okay.
And my number one is a horror movie. It's called Heretic. And I cannot recommend it enough. I loved that movie. Loved it. The screenplay is just remarkable. A screenplay that has a lot to say. I'm not going to spoil it. Let's just say, how can I say this? It just has a lot to say about religion and all the different religions or lack of religion. I've never seen a film that is filled with so much tension. I mean, the main gist is these two girls who are Jehovah's Witness, I guess. So they go to Hugh Grant's door, knock on him. He convinces them to come inside so they can talk, and then the hijinks ensue. I'm not going to say what happens, but it's like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie that has such an overwhelming sense of dread through the entire thing, through the whole movie. I'm just like, oh my god, what's going to happen to these girls? It's an amazing film. And I even love the ending. Yeah, I take it you haven't seen it.
I have not seen it.
Because even the ending can be taken in different ways based on, what your own religious background might be. The movie was spectacular. I can't recommend it enough. I really, really loved it. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a very good list of movies. Yay!
Yay!
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. You can check out our best and worst list videos from 2023 here and here. I'm Richard.
I'm Steve.
Thank you for watching. Bye.